Hi.
Hi.
So I'm Dr. Cam, and I'm super excited because I have literally, other than my daughter, my first guest on my show. And
Yay.
hey, Jamie.
Hi.
So Jamie Edelbrock is here, and she's married to her high school sweetheart.
Yes.
So cute. Together, they have 3 daughters, and she's worn many hats. You have been homeschool mom, which
Yep.
right there, I'm blown away by. I don't know how you do that. A preschool director,
Huh?
a family ministry director, and you
Yep.
rocked it. And now you are an author.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So
it is.
I want you to talk, but I just need to tell people it was almost a year ago today. Like it was this month, or was it end of September? It was almost a year ago today
Yeah, it was a year ago.
where we were sitting on your front porch,
Mhm.
drinking tea, and your whole world had just blown
Yep.
up, like
Yep.
big time blown up.
Yep.
So take us there, and then how in the world did you get a year later? You are an actual author with a publisher going into bookstores worldwide. Like, what? Tell us
I
that.
know, it's crazy. I say, oh, it's only God, because a year ago we were drinking tea and crying on my front porch.
That's true. We were doing that too.
Within such a short amount of time, I had lost a church family, a job. My husband was deployed. I had nothing, literally nothing. That's what I felt like. My whole world was flipped upside down. Um, and so I, I mean, struggling. That's the only way I can think of. I was at peace. I knew everything was happening for a reason, but I had nothing. Um, and at that same time too, my kids were struggling. They could tell, our little world had been flipped upside down. And here we were, mom and 3 daughters, because Eric was away, trying to figure it all out. And it was painful to watch my kids struggle, but also me. I use the word tangled up because that's the only way I can describe it. Is your mind is a mess, your heart's a mess, like it's all just jumbled up and tangled. It's in knots. And I was literally sitting in a gymnastics class with one of my daughters, and knowing that another one was struggling really, really, really bad, with school, with dad being away, with friendships, all of that. And I wanted to tell her, like, it's going to be okay. You need to see a counselor, a therapist. She didn't want to go. So I poured my heart out in a letter to her in gymnastics class. I was just writing. And when it was finished, I could literally vision pictures. And I thought, this has to be a book. I took it to a couple friends. I went to one of my dear friends' house and said, hey, listen to this. Swallowed some pride and thought, oh, I'm probably going to fail, but I'm just going to push this out to publishers. And sure enough, a couple of them grabbed it, and I went with Mascot Books, and the rest is history. It's only God. Now, a year later, with illustrator, publisher, marketing director, all of that, here we are.
It is absolutely amazing. And I remember talking about it, and you sent me the manuscript and reading it and going, oh my God, this is absolutely beautiful. And the whole way you describe the Tangled Up and this description of it is so incredible. But who knew a year later, like just the
I
whole
know.
thing. Tell us a little bit about what the book is about, and kind of the purpose of the book, because I think that's a big piece of it.
Yeah, so it's a children's book, and it talks about how kids get tangled up, and obviously adults get tangled up too, but this is directed at kids to let them know, like, hey, things get you tangled up, whether it's big things or little things, whether it's a dad being deployed, move, bullies, struggling with school, a death in the family, someone sick, well, heaven's sakes, COVID now, like all of this, anything to get us tangled up. And in the book, I describe how we are made from these beautiful threads, and we're made to do beautiful things, bright, sparkly threads of us. And when things happen in our life, big things, little things, we get tangled up in knots. And sometimes it's moms and dads, sisters, brothers can't help. Sometimes friends can't even help. And that's where counselors and therapists come in. In the book, I call them professional detanglers, because that's what they are.
Love that.
And so they will take, and I describe this in the book, they take the beautiful threads of us that have been tangled up, and they can detangle them. They know how to make us flowing and brilliant and bright again. And so yeah, it describes that. And one little idea that you had, Cam, when I brought this to you, because I trust you and I love your wisdom, and you are one of those amazing professional detanglers.
I'm going to take that title, by the way. I love that.
It's great.
Going to be the first teen detangler.
Yes. You had the idea of animals in there, like putting in animals. And so throughout the book, there's these kittens that get tangled up in yarn, and one's trying to help. And by the end of the book, they're not tangled up anymore. But I love that idea that you put in there. That was so great.
I love that. I can't, it's so cool. And I just want to say, as an adult, that book is helpful. And right now, so many people are feeling tangled up. I mean, beyond imagination of, all of us. The kids are feeling it, teens are feeling it, adults are feeling it. And I feel like this book, it's written for kids, but it has a message that is really, really important to all of us. And it is said in a way that is so beautiful and just accepting. Because I think, again, you're touching on a topic that is so difficult. And it's difficult for us as parents to bring up to our kids, which is what I love, because a lot of us still, I think there's a stigma of, seeking help means you're broken.
Absolutely.
Seeking help means something's wrong with you. And that's not the case. And this book so clearly just shows that it has nothing to do with you being broken. It's detangled. I so love that whole.
Well, and we all get there. We are all in some way have been or will be or are tangled up. And it is hard to make that first call. It's hard. Like, that's a big deal. Because when you make the call, like, hey, my family needs help or I need help, you're admitting something is wrong. The thing is that people need to know is there's something wrong with everybody. Everybody's tangled up, So like, to make that first call is so important. But I've had friends that have read this book that said, yes, adult friends, this has helped me too. This has helped me realize it's okay to reach out for help. I mean, the saying, it takes a village, 100%. I do not know where I would be without our counselors, our therapists that we have, in their school, in church, in outside of that as well. Like, I don't know where to be without them. And if there's any message to get across, it's like, reach out for help, become untangled. Like, we are made for beautiful things, amazing things. And it's so hard to do that when we're stuck and when we're tangled up. It's so hard. So I get it.
I love, like, one of the things too that just kind of came to me too, like when your chains, your necklaces and stuff get tangled up. Yeah. And you can sit there and you can like try to work it out, and it gets more and more and more tangled. And what happens, the easiest way to do it is just kind of like do this and just like be really loose with it and just like let it kind of fall out. Yeah. And I think in a way that's a really good message too. It's like, you just have to like breathe and give yourself space instead of constantly trying to fix, and getting somebody to help you do that. It's all about just like breathing and taking some time and just letting those fall out. So tell us now, because I love your current story too. Tell us about your move to Indonesia. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your move to Indonesia?
Sure.
Where you guys are right now, because I think talking about stuck, like you guys are literally.
I did think about that. I was like, it's so funny that this book is coming out and I'm feeling a little bit tangled up right now. Stuck, just because, we are moving to Indonesia, which we're so excited about, but we were supposed to move, October 1st, and things just keep getting delayed. So we are literally sitting in this half empty house. I've already said goodbyes. We're kind of stuck in the middle. We have a house there waiting, like job interviews lined up. We had all these things, the girls' school, and now we are waiting and sitting here stuck, and it's literally out of our control. We have to trust God with it. But yeah, we are feeling stuck, and the only thing I can do is, one, we're together as a family, which is amazing. But when I do feel stuck, is to talk about it. Like, it's living example. It's almost like, okay, practice what you preach. Here you are, you're stuck.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
so how are we going to handle this? Yeah, no. So no, we're excited to get there, and I know that it's all in perfect timing and God's timing when we end up there, which is supposed to be in the next couple weeks. So yeah, fingers crossed,
and
we're gonna get there.
I love how you've also taken the steps that you can. So I think a lot of people can relate just in COVID, because we all feel kind of at this point that we're just stuck in this house.
Yes.
Granted,
Yes.
you're in front of one of your most decorated walls right now in your house, so we can, at least we've got some stuff on our walls. That's your decorations. But I think most of us do feel like we're just like stuck, right, in our houses and not able to go anywhere. Yours is even more literal.
I can't even decorate for fall and break my heart.
You can't do
I can't do anything.
But you could just stay there and literally just sit in the middle of an empty room and cry and say this sucks. And yet you're telling me all these things that you're doing where there are things you can do. The mindset that you've had is looking for, you were telling me, well, there are pros to this. Our kids are now taking school there, so they're adjusting to the new hours. They're meeting new friends there already. So by the time they get there, they've already taken a big step, and they don't have all the steps to take at once.
Right. Absolutely.
Your book is coming out. You may be here when your book comes out, right? So there's I just love how, even though a lot of people would sit there and just, there's so many things for you to literally bitch about, you're finding the good in it, which I think is why a year ago you were sitting on your porch crying. And even then, there's so much about what was bringing you strength, what you had learned about it, where you were going about it. You were still dreaming. You didn't know what you were going to do, but you knew you were going to do something.
Right.
And you're trusting God to say, I'm just going to keep listening. And you would write, I remember you taking walks and you take pictures and be like, this song just came on and this picture just came. And this is like telling, and I was like always so inspired by that, because I'm like, he's finding the beauty in the midst of all of this chaos.
Right.
And you, by doing that, you untangled yourself and you found your path. And I think it's so inspirational. And I want people listening to this to just take that and say, yeah, this can suck, but
there is beauty in it. There's absolutely
what is the beauty that I can take out of this?
And sometimes it's hour by hour, day by day, sometimes minute by minute. But it's really, this whole process is really has made me see that every day is a gift, and every time with your people is a gift. And even in this waiting, being able to spend time with the people I love here, and just, even little family traditions, like going to Cox Farms we get to do that. I get to be here for my goddaughter's birthday. Like, all of those little things are huge. And it's just day by day, step by step. Like, there is beauty in every moment if you look for it. It's there. It is there.
And Jamie, you've always been someone that I've looked up to because of the way that you're able to just view the world. And I want to thank you for that, because you kind of keep me focused and going, okay, there's something good in this. How can people find you, your book, when it comes out, and follow you? Because you're going to be doing a tour at some point, and people can be like, I saw you on Dr. Cam's show first.
Dr. Cam Show. I love that. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram right now. It's Tangled Up Book. And all the links, pre-sale starts in November. All the links will be there. It's going to be sold almost everywhere books are sold. So follow me, Tangled Up Book, on Facebook and Instagram. All the information, all the details will be there.
and I'll link to it from this where I post it, because I always save these and record them and put them on YouTube and on podcasts. So all the links will be there as well. And Jamie, thank you. Like, this was my first official interview.
Well, thank
and
you.
your first official interview.
Yes,
so
I love it.
We got to meet back a year from now.
Okay.
And, you know, if we have time in our schedules, because we're going to be so busy with all of our success. So let's plan on meeting back a year and checking in and seeing where we are at there.
I would love that.
As we know, a lot can happen in a year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. So if you guys liked this story, which there's no way you can't, I mean, come on, Jamie's so inspirational. Share it with people. If you know people that would really like learn from her story or get something from her story, please share it, like it, send Jamie some love. I can't see Facebook right now, so hopefully you're already getting some love, and say hello and get the book when it comes out, because it's beautiful and amazing. And we'll see you later.
Bye. Thank you, Cam.
Bye.